Hey there, welcome back to the Nerd Lair. Today we're going to hop through some of my older quarterbacks, and then in my last video I will end with my Packers, my near and dear. But we'll hop through my older quarterbacks here and take a peek at those cards that I put in my collection. So we got a couple Dante Culpeppers. Even though he's a Viking, it's one of my favorite cards. And this one too, I picked this up for $1.50 at a card show about last year. One of my favorite quarterbacks. Love these Zeniths. These are Team Zenith of the 2000s. He was just a fun quarterback to watch, and I got to watch him a lot as a Packer fan. And he was a good quarterback with Randy Moss. Excuse me. Another guy that I really liked is Carson Palmer. I have a lot of neat Carson Palmer. I really had to dwindle this down though. Something I didn't mention in my videos is kind of how I came to the conclusion of what to keep, because I did make some big changes to the collection. I got rid of 3/4 of it in selling books to people, and most of it ended up going to some kids that were about an hour and a half away from me. And that made me happy. It wasn't, it wasn't somebody like turning around and reselling them. Here is my miscellaneous. So this card I have a little story for. My dad, and I think I already told this, but my dad wrote into, I think it was Leaf at the time, and did one of those like little check cards, mailed it in like I was an 8-year-old. And you know what? This is honestly what you get when you do that. You get Jared Zabransky, who did grace the cover of an NCAA game, but little RG3, some Alex Smith, just some guys that, Matt Leinart, that I don't want to collect a ton of, but I kind of like, I do like Tim Tebow, but I do want to keep some of these cards, like these Byron Leftwich cards. Boy, are those sweet. And I know Byron wasn't a stud or anything, but it's just enjoyable to own some of those guys. All right, so now we're into some older dudes. We got some Bradshaw. I like this after image. I pulled this last year. Pulled that one too, and this one. So most of mine came from pulls. He's not a guy I'm going to go collect. Same with Aikman. I pulled these, and they're really cool, so I keep them. But I'm not an Aikman fan, I will admit. Steve Young, I think I would collect, but newer cards. I don't like the 90s cards of his. He's cool, but he's just not my favorite. Like, none of these guys did I grow up with. Though I do like John Elway. I do collect some of his stuff. None of these did I go out and buy singles though, I'll be honest. Like, I give those to my dad if I see him at the shows with him, because he's a fan. I do like Marino too, but most of these my dad gifted to me or I pulled. So, not the biggest fans of these guys, and just because I don't have an emotional connection to them at all. I didn't watch them. I watched them, I love this card. I watched them through watching countless hours of NFL Network as a kid, but I didn't watch them live, so I didn't, have the opportunity to, get their jersey or get their McFarlane or whatever it is. I did like Vince Young a lot. Now, that's a guy I did get to watch. I just didn't want to keep a ton of his base cards. I got rid of most of my base. And that's what I mean, I got rid of my collection. Now, I kept some base, but, I love that one. But I got rid of a lot of it. I got rid of all the base that was, kind of generic. Now, Kurt Warner's a guy I really like. And my story with Kurt Warner is he was on this VHS tape. And if you know the name of it, drop it down below. But Kurt Warner would, talk about Jesus with these fruits or veggies. I can't remember. It wasn't VeggieTales, but it was in our church basement, and I would borrow the video all the time, and I must have been the only one who rented it. I think maybe ever. Love this card. Love. I think maybe ever that's going to. Did I see somebody else that had it checked out when I wanted it? And so I would go home and watch that one and bring it back. So I just always liked, I don't even remember what the name of them was anymore, but now we're getting, I mean, Eli Manning, not my favorite again. These are some cool cards though. A couple Ring of Honors. I like these Upper Deck Masterpieces. This one's especially really cool. Manning and YA together on the same card. Oop. So, I mean, they're just cool cards that you had to keep, you know. Oh, forgot a couple here. A couple of newer ones. This one was a numbered card I pulled. We got here Drew Brees, my mother-in-law's favorite player. And I know she doesn't watch my videos, so I can share this, but, well, I shouldn't, because I don't know if my brother-in-law is watching, and I don't want him to spoil the surprise for her. But we are, I'm looking at doing something Drew Breesy for her birthday. So we've got Tom Brady. And I don't have a ton of Brady's, to be honest, because his cards are awesome, and I like Tom Brady a lot. But they're just not in a price range that I feel comfortable paying when I'm out at the shops. Like, I don't want Tom Brady enough to where I'm going to pay, you know, $6, $7 for a card like this, you know. I do love Peyton Manning, though, and that's the thing, like, Peyton Manning cards don't go for near what Brady's do. And I like Peyton more. This is always my argument. I always think that Peyton was the better quarterback growing up. I think he just was the man, the myth, the legend. The unfortunate thing for Manning is he didn't win near enough Super Bowls like Brady. So he didn't get the recognition at the tail end here. And I think everybody knows that, you know, Peyton was the man. I loved watching him play, but he just doesn't get the same as Brady. It's just a little sad for me to look at that. But there it is. That is the retired guys section. And so we will finish up last year with my Packers. We got Bart Starr, Jordan Love, Favre, Rodgers, Malik Willis, and Wilson Russell, who is not a Packer, but a Badger. So that'll be the last one in the quarterbacks. All right, if you like this, drop a like. I love to see the likes, and really drop a comment. That's my favorite, is to read the comments. I open the app the day after I post, and I check. So drop a comment underneath if you saw this. Tell me your favorite card in here. And as always, may the good Lord bless you, and have a good one.